Hi guys, it's Stephanie Dalessio, Director of Education for Conserve Wildlife Foundation of New Jersey. So I'm coming to you today from my hometown of Monmouth County, New Jersey, and I have a very special guest that I'd like to introduce everyone to. So are you ready? So today's guest is Rachel. Does anybody know what type of a snake Rachel is? If you guessed corn snake, you're absolutely correct. Rachel is a corn snake, and she's native to the state of New Jersey. And today we're going to talk about her habitat, her diet, her life cycle, and threats to her survivorship. So if you tune in on Thursday, you'll be able to listen to Allegra Mitchell, a herpetologist with Conserve Wildlife Foundation of New Jersey, and she's going to introduce you to her snake. Her snake is not native to the state of New Jersey, but you're going to have to tune in to find out what it is. Okay, so let's get started on Rachel. Rachel, as I stated, is a corn snake. So sometimes she's known as a red rat snake. She is a very long snake. You can see how long she is here. She has a flat belly, and she also has flat sides, kind of shaped like a loaf of bread. Her color can vary, and it can be orange, it can be brown, it can be gray, but they always have these orange to red or brown blotches, I'll call them, that are usually outlined in black on her back. They are from 2.5 feet to 4 feet in length, and they can even get up to 6 feet in length as well. And I really don't think she's 6 feet yet, but she is very long. So something really cool that Rachel does that I want to talk to you about is she sheds or she molts. And that's a really cool thing that she can do. So the reason why she'll shed or molt is because she's going to shed the outer layer of her skin in order to accommodate her growth. So as she grows, she's going to need more room in there. So she's going to, let me hold her correctly, she is going to shed out of her skin. And this is what a snake shed will look like. So Rachel will do this several times a year. Now, I know when she gets ready to do this because prior to shedding, hey, where are you going? Prior to shedding, Rachel will get dull and her eyes will get clouded over and they'll be a little bit cloudy, and I'll know she's ready actually to molt. And it takes about a week, and she'll rub up against one of the rocks or one of the logs that I have in her enclosure, make a little bit of a tear in her skin, and then she'll crawl out and she'll leave behind this beautiful, shiny, new, vibrant in color skin. And like I said, this spans to about a week. And then she goes back to normal behavior after that. Distribution and habitat. So where are we going to be able to find her? So I did say she was native to New Jersey. And one of the places that she's most commonly found would be the Pine Barrens. So anybody who lives in the state of New Jersey would know when you're driving down to Atlantic, Cumberland, southern parts of New Jersey, the central southern part has a large area called the Pine Barrens, and that's where they are most commonly found. They're also found in Ocean County. They're found also in Atlantic County. They're found also in Cumberland, Burlington County. And even though they're present in all of those areas, they are not as common as they used to be. And can anybody guess why maybe they're not as common as they used to be? Well, I'm going to talk about that in a little while. But first, we're going to go on to where in the Pine Barrens they would live. So they would live by water, in fields they live. They would live anywhere that they can find a lot of prey and that are good for a good place for them to forage. They are a fossorial species. Who knows? And that's a pretty big word. So who can tell me what a fossorial species is? Does anybody have a guess about that? So a fossorial species is an animal that burrows. So they seek cover in hollow logs, railroad ties, foundations of old buildings, under boards and logs. And that's where they would nest or hibernate. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, no, Miss Stephanie, not again. Snakes don't hibernate. Bears hibernate. But snakes do hibernate, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that in a few minutes. So right now we're going to go on to their diet. And what do they eat? What do you think that snakes eat? Well, Snakes prey upon small birds and eggs and chicks and moles and mice and chipmunks, but Rachel eats mice. So Rachel eats mice, and the way that she eats that is she's considered a constrictor. So what Rachel will do is Rachel will pretty rapidly strike at her prey and wrap herself around it really tight, kind of like she's wrapping around my arm. And then she will unhinge the bones in her jaw in order to fit the animal in, and she will swallow it whole. No chewing for Rachel. She will absolutely follow them whole. And then it takes them a few days to digest. So what Rachel likes to do, and just so you know, I purchased her mice at the pet store. They are frozen and they have to be defrosted and then put inside of her cage. So anybody who would like to own a snake would not have to worry about feeding them live prey. It's not, in my opinion, humane, and also it can injure the snake by scratching or biting it, so it's a lot safer to feed them the frozen mice, and they're very commonly found at any pet store throughout the state. So basically, she will go into a very warm place in her enclosure and lay there for a few days and digest her food. So the life cycle of a corn snake. So they are nocturnal. Does anybody know what nocturnal means? That's right. It means that they are active at night. And if they were active during the day, it would be a diurnal animal. So they are nocturnal animals, and they are most active during May to September. So especially during the hot summer months, you can see them. So they arouse from hibernation around late April, early May, and then between May and June, they actually mate, and they lay their eggs around July. It all depends on the environmental conditions, exactly when they would lay their eggs. Their clutch, or the size or the amount of eggs that they lay, depending on the species or the of snake, can be between 5 and 14 eggs. It all depends on the amount of prey they're eating, and also the health of the female animal. Pretty cool, right? So it takes, they incubate for about 5 to 7 weeks, and then they would hatch in September. Rachel is very active right now. In October and November, remember I told you that they hibernate? Well, that's when it's going to happen. So when it starts to get cooler outside around Halloween, and when the leaves start to shed from the trees and fall from the trees, snakes will hibernate. They will go into their wintering sites underground in burrows and stumps and holes and hollows beneath the frost line. And that's where their hibernia is, or their place of hibernation, their shelter for the winter. Do you know other animals in New Jersey that hibernate as well? If you said bears, you were correct. So what are the current threats, and why are they not so common in the state of New Jersey anymore? Well, there are 2 reasons. The first reason is habitat destruction. So deforestation, or people knocking down trees in order to build homes and other structures, is one of the main reasons why most animals are becoming more scarce in the state of New Jersey. And thank you to Conserve Wildlife Foundation of New Jersey and the other environmental partners. It is so important, the work that we do, to make sure that we keep wildlife in the wild and in nature for us to enjoy. Another reason, or people are taking them as pets. So I just want to let you know, guys, I got this at PetSmart. This snake was not taken out of the wild, and it should never be even thought about to take an animal out of the wild and brought into your home. They belong outside. That being said, this is Rachel, was bought in a pet store, even though they are native to the state of New Jersey. She was not taken from outside from anyone. So this is Rachel. She is a corn snake. That's her little face. My name is Stephanie Dalessio. I'm the Director of Education for Conserve Wildlife Foundation of New Jersey. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe and healthy. Bye.